Yep, Ellen. That was me a few minutes ago. I was like, this light, it's too bright. What is going on? It's another episode of You Got 10 Minutes with Nikki, Alan, Freddie, the show where we talk about whatever we want to talk about.
The next one we got to do all in the same room, like a little like a round table. How cool would that be?
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We would have to do it at like Freddy's or something.
Yeah, you guys come here. I got a big round table here. Yeah.
Do you? What city?
Mm-hmm.
No, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. I'll make you guys my margarita, my famous margaritas, like I made last week.
Oh, that would
I want them. Fun. Yes, I do.
I'm down.
Speaking of drinking, did you know, Alan, that some people pay to go to a wedding? They will pay to go to a wedding. It's a new trend that's going on.
I have heard something like that. That's how the couples pay for their wedding, is to have people pay. But I think it's absurd to have your guests do that. I don't know. What's this new trend? I
mean, weddings are so expensive that people are like, okay, fine. If someone wants to pay to come to the wedding, then we'll let them pay to go. Wow. But then you have strangers at your wedding. It's supposed to be a really special day. And you're going to have
anyone can come.
Anyone can come. Anyone can pay their way into your wedding.
That is a trip. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Have you seen that in any weddings that you've DJ'd? Has anyone ever brought that up to you, that there's people there they don't know that have paid to be there?
No, not that have paid, but I've had a few weddings that I've DJ'd and there were wedding crashers and I had to bring it to attention of the coordinators or the staff. Yeah, I seen people walk in because, I'm DJing and everyone's having a good time, and you look over and you see these people who aren't dressed. They don't look like they fit in, and they're sneaking their way in, and they're on the dance floor starting to act it up and drinking. And it's like, come on, it's a private event, but never seen anyone paying to come to a wedding.
No, so they go for the open bar, I guess. But honestly, I'm going to be real honest. I'm bored at most weddings. I don't want to go to weddings, even of people I know, let alone pay to go to someone's wedding that doesn't even sound fun for me. I mean, I get open bar, maybe food, but I don't know, actually. I don't know. It doesn't seem
But you're paying for that. I'm wondering what the cost is and if drinks are included, and maybe they're paying for, in their mind, I'm guessing, entertainment. There are people that love weddings, so you get typically good food. I don't know. It's a very strange concept.
Is there an interview process? Can you talk to these people before they start hitting on your aunt, at the wedding, if they get too drunk or something? You never know.
I know. I mean, you don't know. Who knows? Maybe you got like killers there, rapists. I mean, you don't know who the hell is. I'm sure you guys have watched the movie Wedding Crashers, such a classic, Vince Vaughn, and they made weddings seem fun and they always had a great time. But for the most part, I don't think weddings, unless it's my own, are that much fun.
You know what? I enjoyed going to weddings when I was in a relationship, because it was fun. We got to dress up, and then as a couple, we would talk to other people and we would dance all night. It was great. But as a single man, unless it's like a good friend, it's like I'll eat. Here's my gift, but I gotta get up early tomorrow. But hey, congratulations!
Yep. I know. Plus, you gotta give them a gift, spend the money to do that. You gotta buy a nice outfit, if you're in the wedding, pay for your gown. I mean, and sorry, no offense, Ella, because I know you do this, but I myself. I just would rather be home watching TV.
Let me tell you, after almost 20 years of DJing weddings, and no offense to any of my couples if they're even listening, and it's understandable, I'm so burnt out that I want to do less weddings and more corporate and more parties that are just relaxed and fun, because there's a lot on my shoulders as an MC and a DJ event director. And it's so much drama going on a lot of weddings. I've got great couples. I've always had great couples, but I get burned out. But before I started DJing weddings, and my wife and I were dating, we dated for almost 7 years before we got married. We had been to, and we counted, so I'm accurate on this, about 18. It's 18 weddings.
Oh my gosh.
That we had attended of our friends, just because of the time. She was 21 when we first started dating. I was 26, and all of our friends were kind of in that mode. Now, with her, when we were dating, I had already been married. So when I was 18, regarding to my background of No Doubt, tried that, lasted less than a year, wasn't going down that road again, dated someone else for 7 years before my current wife, wasn't getting married, but met my wife, weren't interested in getting married, but we attended a lot of weddings and we had some fun. It was fun, but now working them,
You know what though? You bring up a good point, and Freddie, you do too. I've never gone to a wedding with someone I was dating. That could be a whole game changer. You got someone fun to dance with, whatever. Because when you go as a single person, and I haven't been to a wedding in a little bit, but I'm not the type of person that likes to kind of get up in a group and dance. I like to dance with my person. It's kind of more like grinding, but I just want to dance with my person and like make out and like it's just us. Like I don't know. Even with my friend, I get in a circle and like it's just I just get bored by it.
I don't dancing type.
I'm not the group dancing type, so it would be a different story.
Here's my thing. I love look at. There's two sides of me, right? Mm-hmm. There's the girlfriend's mom who's gonna love me, Freddie, and then there's nighttime Freddie, and if nighttime Freddie is out drinking, having a good time, I'm all over the place. But if I'm at a wedding and I know the aunts and the moms and the uncles, then I'm probably being a little more safe than Mm-hmm. But I wanted to ask you though. Is it true that the cliche goes something like sometimes the smaller, more quaint weddings are more fun than the big extravagant ones? I mean, I know that's a little generic and broad, but you've done so many weddings. What have you noticed?
Let me tell you, that's a great question. I love myself. The more intimate is what we call them weddings. Mm-hmm. I've done weddings that were 30 people, and it's the same thing, the same pomps and circumstances. Some of them, the same itinerary type of thing, but just the intimate weddings are so much more relaxed and authentic. Mm-hmm. The big ones that are so grandiose, I do a lot of events at the Riverside Mission in downtown Riverside, and we have a huge room called the Grand Parisian Ballroom, and there's 300 to 400 people in the weddings. It's just chaotic. And I think after 20 years of doing them, my nerves can't handle that anymore with my anxiety, which is something I'll talk about later. But yeah, the intimate, smaller weddings, to me, my preference, much better.
Well, I got a job for you because I've been saying this since we met. You're going to DJ my wedding one day.
Oh, yes.
And it's going to be small. I honestly just want a few close friends and like my parents and brother, only people that, really support me, and maybe on a tropical island or somewhere in California, but on the beach, real small. But
nice.
My mom always gets mad at me because I'm like, if it's so small though, we're not really going to have like people to dance. So I think I need to hire some dancers. And my mom gets mad.
I've had a wedding do that, Nikki. Yeah, you can do that. They come after. They come during the dancing.
Yeah.
And even one wedding, they had people teach the other guests group dances. So yeah, you can actually do that. Hire people.
My mom gets mad. She's like, "You're not going to hire dancers for this is ridiculous." But I'm like, "No, Mom, I'm going to keep it small and intimate. But then at the end of the night, when we want to dance, so that it's not awkward because there's not just 5 people on the damn dance floor, we hire some dancers.
That's awesome. That is a thing. You can do that. I think with Mom, being from back in the day and her style, and that's unheard of. But it is something that's been done, and I think it's a great idea. You spend the money, you spend less money.
You do.
You feed your immediate family and your friends and your close ones, and then open up the party for everybody else.
It was more like bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, that type of stuff. But when I was in New York City acting, I took on some gigs to be a dancer at weddings and at bar mitzvahs and stuff. So they would pay me not a lot. I think I only made like couple $100, and I'd go out there and dance and get the crowd going, and that was kind of my work.
That's right. We forget you do have a dancing background. You're a dancer and cheerleader, I believe.
No, I never cheered, actually.
Just dancing.
Wait, I didn't know you were a dancer back in the day. Did I know that?
I don't know. I did tap, ballet, jazz. not professional, but I was in competition classes, and growing up I danced. Nice. And then I guess I got paid to dance, but it wasn't any type of, not tap ballet, not that type of dancing. It was just getting on the dance floor and shaking around a little bit. I was getting paid to do that kind of dancing, but
she had a pole. She's lying. She had a pole. Freddie, she told me she was.
That might have been fun. Good for the legs too, my thighs, but we got nice and strong there. Anyways, we better change topics.
Oh, because I'll take it real south. You'll
take it real south real fast.
Whose turn is it?
Who wants to go? I'll let you guys decide.
Did I go? Have I gone? Have I gone yet?
No, you haven't gone yet.
We've done so many of these, you guys. We're going like back to back that we're losing track of who's talking when.
I had my topic, and after all this, I honestly I forgot what it was going to be. Does somebody else want to go, or if you want to give me a second?
I'll jump in. I'll jump in. Mine's a little bit more serious. It was something that I brought up in one of our way past episodes, and this is putting my heart on my sleeve and putting it out there for anyone. And my reason for doing that is because I not for attention, I'm very private, but I want people to understand that there's help out there for those who are battling depression and anxiety. After a series of unfortunate events from 2020 on, and medical issues, adrenal gland issues from stress and overworking and familial problems and death and shutdown and all kinds of things, started suffering from depression and anxiety. I was on several, I think 8 different medications that exacerbated my symptoms, that made me groggy. I'm in entertainment, obviously, and I couldn't be like that on these medications. They made me just out of it and sick. And there is something called TMS that I had spoken about on one of our last episodes that I was about to look into. And since then, Nikki, I have been getting it. I've been getting TMS treatment for going on my 7th week now, and it's called transcranial magnetic stimulation.
And is that where they put something on your head and they're kind of like tapping your head, or how does it go?
Basically, they put a helmet on your head, and it's connected to a machine, and it charges pulses real fast every 15 to 20 seconds, and it's targeting the part of the brain that is responsible for your mood, for depression, and for anxiety. It's FDA approved. It's working. It works for me. Wow. I'm so glad to say, you guys, my symptoms, my attacks have been much less, and my rumination, my depression has been lifted significantly, and this thing is helping me. So I'm bringing it up for those who are suffering and those who are on these medications that can affect your liver, they can affect your brain. All these medications are not good for you. They're blankets. You want to get it at the root, at the cause, scientifically, in the brain. You want to hit it there, and TMS does that. So I highly suggest transcranial magnetic stimulation for anyone who's suffering that has not had any luck with medication. And it was hell getting my insurance company, I won't name who it is, to approve it, because there's no money in it for them. It is an expensive treatment, but they'll make more money off of keeping you on pills.
Exactly. Now, I got a question, Alan. Does it hurt? Is it painful when it's tapping?
It's a good question. Everyone asks that. It's uncomfortable the first few discharges, like the first minute and a half. But for me, I can speak for me, I get used to it after that. Now, I had a couple treatments where, because they start at, let's say 80 degrees, and you work your way up each treatment to 120, and then you stay at 120 for the rest of the treatments. So 80 was good. 90 was cool. It got to 100 and I was like, oh, and I had to tell them, let's go back down to 90 for now, and then kind of work my way back up. But it is very uncomfortable. It's not painful. It's uncomfortable. And it just, you feel this on your head, this tapping, if you will. And I have to wear a mouth guard because it does affect the nerves in your face
Oh,
and
wow.
and your hands. So when it discharges, I bite down. So I had a friend who was getting it done
Mm.
and she chipped a tooth. She wasn't wearing a mouth guard. So
Oh,
I would
man.
suggest to anyone wear a mouth guard, because once you go up in intensity, it does make your nerves in your mouth and your head, it makes them go crazy, and tingling in your hands too. I had one treatment where I had my hands down like this, and they tell you we'll start in 3, 2, 1, and it goes brrrr, right. That first one hit me so hard that my arm, I went,
Oh my
Wow.
God, Alan, that's crazy.
it was
I,
crazy.
oh, I
And
got so many questions. So, do you almost feel like electricity too, as well, in addition to the tapping, like you're being shocked? What does
no,
it feel like?
you do feel the tapping, but you
Mhm.
feel the nerves being stimulated in like your
Mm.
face, and tingling electricity, if you
Wow.
will, in my
So you're
fingertip.
kind of like going like,
Not the whole
doing crazy.
time. That
Okay.
one time. So throughout, yeah, well,
Uh-huh.
yeah, kind of, but not that drastic. That one treatment I had was very drastic. I had to
Wow.
tell her to turn it down. And it depends on placement of the helmet. But naturally, through the treatment, you do feel the discharges and the tingles. You do. It makes you, like, I try to hold my phone. I'm right-handed. So if I'm holding my phone in my right hand just to keep my mind off of, it's a 20-minute session, 19 minutes. Your phone will go like that, or you can drop it because it's making you shake.
I
So I
wonder
just,
if it would be as effective, like someone who has mild symptoms, if they can do it and keep it low, maybe at like, the 60-70%, not go, and it's still
yeah.
beneficial to them. I'm kind of curious for people with mild
Yeah.
cases.
I'm guessing that the treatment you're supposed to increase, they do what's called mapping, kind of like with chemotherapy, your first treatment, to see if you can tolerate it, to see what part of the brain they need to target for you, because it is
Mm.
also for smoking cessation, ADHD, and
Wow.
something else.
How
But
fast does it work? I mean, I
Yeah.
know it can't be immediate, but like, when did you notice, like, hey, you know what? This is actually working.
I started noticing it about 3 weeks in, about halfway
Wow.
through, which is normal. They say about halfway through. Some people feel
Okay.
it the first week. It's Monday through Friday for 6 weeks.
Wait, every
Mon-
day you
Straight.
go, Monday
every
through
day.
Friday?
Right. That's why I've been so busy. And then I get home and I'm
5 days a
exhausted.
week.
5 days a week. Now I just started
Wow.
this week 3 days a week. Next week I'll go 2 days a week, and then the following week I'll go 1 day, and then
Wow.
we're getting cleared for more maintenance. So it starts working. It depends. It's depends on your body and who you are. Everything's different for everyone, but you do go into what's called a remission. I had
Hmm.
another friend who was taking it, and she's getting ready to go back in to do them again after it's been 4 years, I think she told me. And so,
Interesting.
yeah, it's something that you can do as maintenance, and then stop. And then if you feel your symptoms returning and you're starting to feel blue again, and the rumination and the ideology
Wow.
and all of that, you can start treatment again. But I really recommend it. It's helped me, and I will go. And I'm not ashamed. I'm private. I don't like to talk about that, but I had brought it up because we were talking about anxiety, and so I wanted to follow up with the TMS
Yeah, that
treatment.
is so
So I
interesting.
suggest it.
And I love the fact that you go for 6 weeks, but then you're kind of done. Then you just do maintenance.
Then
Like
you just do
what, maybe
maintenance.
once a month, once every few months, go
Correct.
maybe. And then if you notice years go by and you're starting to feel it, then you can do the treatment again. But I
Again.
love the idea that it's not something you need to do forever, be on a
Right.
medication
Right.
forever,
Right. And that's the thing, is you're on these
Mhm.
meds forever, and you sometimes become immune to them. They make you feel disconnected. Again, there's no side effects that I have experienced, except for after treatment. I do feel almost like I did take a Xanax or a pill or something. I feel very
Mhm.
relaxed and
Mhm.
and just like, like I feel good, and that eventually wears off. But yeah, no side effects like
Hmm.
exacerbated anxiety, or night sweats, or
So
vomiting,
interesting.
diarrhea, all these other effects that these meds can give you. I suggest it.
Wow, that is fascinating, Alan. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wow,
Very cool.
yeah, very cool. Mm-hmm.
So I know we have some listeners out there that have mentioned to me that they are dealing with that. So that's for you guys.
Wow, I'll probably come up with more questions too. I'll ask you later. It's just so interesting to me.
Yeah.
I love all that stuff. Okay, wow, really cool. I have friends too. I'll like recommend it to my friends. Like you said, I don't know if insurance is going to cover it. That's the thing, but really
Some
interesting.
don't. Some insurances don't, but most of them will. You have to request it, and you have to be medication resistant.
You have to be medication resistant, though.
They were like, "How many meds did you take? What
does medication resistant mean? Like you're not allergic to anything?
No, that just means that it's not working. It's not doing anything for you.
See, I hate that though. So you have to, if you're a person, let's say you don't want to be medicated, you have to be on it for so long before they'll give you a treatment like this. I don't like that though. But
it's all about money and not healing people. We don't have health care. We have sick care. And I'm getting too political. I'll stop right there.
Yeah. Okay. Freddie, do you remember your topic?
I don't, but I have something to go off of what Alan was talking about. When I was young, I always thought, I always had the worst acne as a kid, and I don't know why. And to this very day, I get very oily, so I get really shiny, so I gotta pat myself, like.
Did you ever use those strips? It was like a little rectangle. It was like Neutrogena, and you and honestly, it kind of just was a waste of time because you blop up the oil, and I guess it would actually just make your body produce even more oil. Wow. But back in the day when I was like in middle school, high school, whatever, you're like blah 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 but anyways, sorry.
Right. No, I remember, I think it was middle school, or my face was so oily, and there was this cute girl that I liked, and she finally decided to give me attention, and she went to squeeze my cheek saying, "Oh, you're so cute." Aww. And then she goes, "Oh, you're so oily,"
Yeah.
Talk about, I tell you, man, everyone talks about how they hate getting old. I love being an adult. I hated being a kid. Let me tell you, man, it was.
Embrace it.
But during high school, I think I went to it was special at the time, a thing called Accutane, where I guess if you're really breaking out, Nikki, probably, maybe but
I know exactly about it. Yep.
It dries. And so basically there was nothing, Alan, that would work for my skin. I would just break out all the time. They said it was a hormonal issue or
correct. Yeah, something. It could be. It's definitely hormonal or food intake. Certain.
And when I was young, I'm like, am I just a hornier kid than everybody else? They're like, no, it has something to do with something else. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. I was. Oh, boy, I was. That's why I started spending my seed at 12.
But I was so thankful that I got on it because it was the only thing that worked. But it would dry my skin up so intensely that my skin would start to crack. So I would wear gloves to school.
Oh my God, are you serious, Freddie?
Did you try lotion? Would you try lotion and cream?
I would have to apply lotion a lot. And it was only for like a few weeks because your liver, at some point, it's gonna. So they can only do it like once or twice in your life. That's how major of a deal it is.
Wow.
And I remember telling everybody, I'm like, oh, I'm just a break dancer. What's up? Wearing gloves and everything. But that to me, that was it was a big deal. But it took away the acne for a while, and I think that was the only thing that's ever worked. So I don't know if there's anybody listening that had bad acne, but that was the only thing that has ever worked for me besides benzoyl peroxide. And to this very day, I take a face scrub with benzoyl peroxide, not salicylic acid. I don't know what it's called, but it's something like that. There's two main medicines that treat acne. One is salicylic acid or something, and the other one's benzoyl peroxide. And for me, benzoyl peroxide has always been like the miracle worker. Oh man, let me tell you.
I've had to. Go ahead, Dickie.
I'm just gonna say. So back in the day, Freddie, and I still have it, but it's much more manageable now. I had bad rosacea. My nose and my cheeks all red, and it was really embarrassing as a kid. I got my period young in 5th grade, and then right after, it's a hormonal thing. I started to get the rosacea, get red, and it just kept getting worse as the years were going on. And my dad finally, because I would cry, I'd be so upset, convinced my mom, okay, take her to a dermatologist. So we went to the dermatologist, and I tried a bunch of, some pills and some topical things, and nothing worked. And my dad kind of came in angry, like, this is ridiculous. We keep coming to you. Nothing is working. And they brought up Accutane. They said, Accutane is like this miracle that, people use, but it is extremely dangerous. Then we were reading articles in the paper where people were committing suicide from taking that because they get so depressed on it.
Is it a pill?
Yes, it's a pill. I never ended up taking it, and my parents are like, no, you're not going to take that because it is extremely dangerous and really, really severe. So I'm glad that you're okay, Freddie, because it's really intense. Yeah.
You had the rosacea. I had the blackness. My blackness was difficult growing up. Yeah.
Well, did you go to a school with mostly white kids?
Yes, Anaheim High School, or excuse me, Loera High School in Anaheim near Disneyland. Yeah, we were. There was a handful of us. We were the tokens. So. Yeah,
tokens though, black don't crack, man. They don't,
I slept with a lot of white women though. I'm just kidding.
Ellen, you make me laugh.